Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. Okay, so now the trade deadline is behind us. Now we can start moving forward, and I'm starting to think about what the Lakers, my favorite team, are going to look like once we get Drummond, assuming that he signs with us. Although he does have other suitors, and some would say he probably should try looking in other directions. I am telling him that he should. Um, and I'm only saying that stepping outside of my Lakerdom because I'm looking at LeBron, I'm looking at AD, and I'm saying if their rehab don't go right, if they happen to be re-injured, um, it's gonna pretty much be pressure on you, along with the other players that are already on this team who are struggling as is, to keep us afloat. And that could be an exciting thing for him in a theory because it will allow him to play lots of minutes at his best. Um, and he's a free agent at the end of this year, and we know we're not going to have money to re-sign him. So at this point, it's like we know this is a 1 year rental. Maybe this is a good place for him, but if you're chasing a ring, and he's been in the league for a long time, he's already made some money. If you're looking to get a ring, um, the Brooklyn Nets are obviously a better place to go for him. And that just is what it is. However, however, it does look like he's leaning toward the Lakers, and because I am a fan of the Lakers and really do appreciate what he brings to the game, especially statistically from the rebounding category, in the scoring categories, um, I think it's time to start dreaming about what this team looks like with him on it. And the thing about having Drummond that I didn't work into my equation throughout these last couple of weeks was that we would actually have Trez still on the roster when he arrived. In my mind, I didn't have Trez here. I figured we were trading Trez today just pretty much automatically because his name was in just about every trade rumor there was. Now that he's going to be here and we have Drummond coming in, the rebounding possibilities are overwhelming. That's what I'm here to tell everyone. And I know I've said this before in regards to AD and Drummond. No one's going to rebound over these Lakers. Like, if you have a play-in game and this team is healthy, Drummond is healthy, AD's healthy, Trez is healthy, Braun is healthy, Kuz is healthy. If all of those players are healthy, all of them rebound really, really well. Like, Kuzma has shown us in stretches that he can now be a double-digit rebounder. The rest of those guys rebound naturally. I think AD might be the worst rebounder of all of them. Like, how ridiculous is that? You're bringing in Drummond. Some consider him the best rebounder in all of basketball. I think the numbers will tell you that he is. You look at Trez. What is he known for? Being a baby Dennis Rodman. He rebounds the ball like a madman. Like, this is what he does. And then you're talking about LeBron James, who may be the greatest player of all time. We ain't got to talk about what he does on the boards. I mean, it's like, listen, if anybody's going to beat the Lakers, it's going to be the injury bug. That's what it really comes down to. Or the Brooklyn Nets. I like what Denver did today. So I know I look at them as a threat, but they're going to have trouble rebounding over us. Even with Aaron Gordon, even with Jokic, once they start digging into their bench, they have talented players, really good ones. Will Barton's somebody that doesn't get mentioned enough, but he's been on fire lately. And he's going to be a problem come playoff time because he's healthy this year, unlike last year where he wasn't there. So consider him a factor. But nevertheless, how the hell are they going to rebound over Drummond and Trez? I mean, mind you, obviously they're probably not going to be on the floor at the same time, which is going to be interesting to see how they handle that because neither one of them are really looking to kind of go without minutes. Drummond's been out now for probably almost a month waiting for a trade suitor or for this day, which has come to pass, which is him getting a buyout deal. I mean, he's been waiting for this. And now he's going to be coming here or wherever he goes, expecting to get lots of minutes. And he should be able to get them, but Trez is on this roster, and he's also going to be looking to get lots of minutes at that same position. Unless we're going to be moving Trez to the power forward position, as to which we're really going to have some interesting roster rotations going forward as guys come back, especially since AD is set to come back now within 2 weeks. Now, unfortunately, we got the news on Braun today, and he's not going to be back until 4 to 6 weeks from now. And since he's already been out a week or two, however long it's been, it seems like about a week and a half. Yeah, it's a lengthy recovery for this one, and that's not surprising looking at how the injury occurred. Um, I'll be happy to see him come back at any point in the season. That's what I'll say about that injury. So yeah, now that we understand what we're dealing with, I mean the most important thing for this team to do when Drummond gets here is just what I said: dominate the boards. We're probably not going to be able to outshoot a lot of teams till those guys get back. We're not going to be able to have the most cohesive bunch in terms of playmaking and things like that, because nobody on our team is pass first without Braun right now. But we can outboard teams, you know. That's what we can do. And I know Trez is still out there. Guys can have a little sigh of relief. No one got traded. No one on this roster that I know of is looking to get bought out. So guys can just kind of relax. They know there's no pressure because they're not supposed to win any games at this point. No one's expecting them to, not even against bad teams. So you can kind of settle into what it is that you can do and stay healthy. I think that's another thing that we need to understand. Because our guys are out, it doesn't mean that we have to play the players that they're going to be playing with a lot like crazy. You don't have to give Kuzma 38 minutes in the game. You don't have to give Schroeder 38 to 40 minutes a game. No, that's not the move. We want to preserve those guys too, because the last thing we need is those guys falling to injury as AD and Braun are coming back, because that makes it so that we're still in the same hole. You know what I mean? We need to be deep. We need our team to be together. I'm encouraged by the news that they're all going to, or at least a portion of the team is going to take the injection. I think that'll cut down on the possibility of missed games. Obviously, that protocol situation changes once you've taken the vaccine. So I assume that should help us keep our guys on the floor a little bit more so than other teams. But at this point, all of that stuff is to be taken into account. That's why depth is so important. That's why we need to be playing more players. I was encouraged to see that Devontae Kaycock had been called up, and he started in the last game. I think we should keep him in rotation. I would like to see Costas. I say this a million times. I'd like to see us play these guys, because at the end of the day, we don't want Kuzma going down with an injury, Trez going down with an injury, KCP, etc. We don't want to run those guys into the ground, just to get a win or two, because we just want those guys to be healthy when LeBron and AD become back. That's the most important thing. So yes, now we turn our attention to Drummond. It's up to him. It's up to him. He's going to have his suitors: Lakers, Clippers, Knicks, and obviously the Brooklyn Nets are the teams that he's looking at. If I'm his friend, I'm telling him to go to the Nets. That's just an easy path to a ring. It's easy, bro. Like, that's what I would tell him, unfortunately. It's just easy. With the Lakers, you have a harder path. Now, that could prove good for you, because if you average 20-20 or something crazy with the Lakers, you'll never be forgotten. Like, that's one of those things where it's like, it's different when you do it for the Lakers. You can do it for Cleveland. It's cool. You can do it for Detroit. That means something. You do it for the Lakers, and you're immortalized. So, especially as a center. So I would encourage him to think about his legacy if he chooses our team, and what it means to be here, because we're not just talking about winning one ring. If you're here, it's about winning multiple rings, and it's a place where people dream of becoming, of playing. So with the Nets, easy ring this year, maybe even next year. The Lakers, you're coming to build your legacy as one of the great centers to ever play. So that's what it's about. That's the pressure on your shoulders. It's not for everybody, but our fans, some of them are fickle, but then you have people like myself who are paying very close attention, who don't take it lightly, who's not here for the bright lights and none of that. At the end of the day, we know what we're about. We're at 17. This is a war against the Celtics forevermore. We're trying to pass them up at all times, and that's really what it is. Meanwhile, the Clippers over there throwing rocks at us. So you're inheriting certain things when you come to the Lakers, certain beefs that you didn't have on other teams. You're just gonna have when you get here. So, we'll see, man. It's a weird place to be as a person who's a fan and also a talking head, to say, don't come to my team if you want an easy ring. That's a very weird space to be in. But I find myself here trying to be, um, as even and balanced as possible. Understanding that everybody has a team, everybody's a fan of something, and if you're going to run the league properly, you got to consider things outside of what your perspective holds. So that's what I'm on. My name is BDF44. It's Lakers for life, though. You know that. And I'm out.